This is the news on Honor 103.5 FM. Honor FM News. Accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go there. We bring you the news behind the news. Honor FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the headline news on Honor 103.5 FM. But first, the top stories. At top of the national news today, Edo Assembly urges court to affirm 18 local government chairmen's post-suspension. In the continent, Trump threatens to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. On the foreign scene, China renews threats to retaliate against United States tariffs. In business, Nigeria's exchange rate appreciates in January, gaining against the US dollar. In entertainment, Beyonce wins Best Album at the 67th Grammy Awards. And in sports, Aston Villa signed Rashford on loan from Manchester United. And now the news in detail. I am Anuluakbo. E2. The Edo State House of Assembly has urged the State High Court to affirm the suspension of the chairman of the 18 local government areas of the state. The House had on December 17, 2024, suspended all the local government chairmen and their deputies for insubordination, according to the governor, Monday Okpebolo. Legislative action followed the petition to the House by Okpebolo, who complained that the local government chairman shunned his directive that they should provide their council statements of account. The embattled local government chairman, the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), however, faulted the suspension of the local government chairman, contending that the governor lacks the power to demand local government account statements in view of the local government autonomy recently declared by the Supreme Court. All the chairmen and their deputies have since been impeached, which the chairman and their deputies are also challenging in court. And away from that story, Nigerians have been advised to avoid all but essential trips to Uganda and other countries with confirmed Ebola virus disease cases. The advisory followed the January 30 confirmation of the outbreak of the Sudan strain of Ebola virus in cities by the Ugandan Ministry of Health. According to the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC), Dr. Jide Idris, the agency was reinforcing surveillance at entry points, updating emergency response plans, and expanding diagnostic capacity in key laboratories. Also, he disclosed that in response to the development, the NCDC has updated its EVD emergency contingency plan, increased screening at point of entry, particularly international airports. He, however, clarified that Nigeria has no recorded cases of the virus. And straight to the continent, where US President Donald Trump has said he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into a law bill that allows land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. Land ownership has long been a contentious issue in South Africa, with most farmland still owned by white people, 30 years after the end of the racist system of apartheid. And on Sunday, Trump wrote on social media platform Truth Social that he will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of this situation has been completed. And on the foreign scene, China has reiterated its threat to take necessary and counter measures to defend its legitimate rights and interests following Trump's decision to impose 10% tariff on China for allegedly not stemming the production of precursor chemicals. Recall that United States President Donald Trump's trade war with Canada, Mexico, and China is ramping up over the production and importation of chemicals, along with trade surpluses and illegal border crossings by migrants from across the globe. According to the Foreign Ministry, China calls on the United States to correct its wrongdoings, maintain the hard-won positive dynamics in the counter-narcotics cooperation, and promote steady, sound, and sustainable development of China to U.S. relationship. China says also that the U.S. action violates World Trade Organization rules and has vowed to bring a case before the body that governs global commerce. The Ministry of Public Security on Sunday made near identical charges, and Commerce Ministry also issued a closely worded statement. And from that story now to Syria, where at least 15 people were killed and dozens wounded when a car bomb exploded in the outskirts of a northern Syrian city. According to a local civil defense and a World Monitor report, this happened today on the outskirts of the city of Manbij. Meanwhile, the car detonated next to a vehicle carrying agricultural workers and killed 14 women and 1 man. Another 15 women were wounded, among them in critical condition. Manbij in northeastern Aleppo province continues to witness violence even after the downfall of President Bashar Assad in December, where Turkish-backed factions known as the Syrian National Army continue to clash with the US-backed Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to The Word Is on 103.5 FM Ibadan. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at Honor 103.5 FM. You can also listen live on our Radio Garden app at Honor FM Ibadan. And now to business news. And in business, Nigeria's exchange rate appreciated significantly in January of 2025, gaining over 63 naira against the US dollar on January 31 at the Nigerian foreign exchange market. According to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), this increase pushes the local currency to the highest level it has reached in 7 months. Recall that the last time the currency traded at a similar rate was when it stood at 1,473 naira to a dollar in the official market. The sharp increase has been attributed to policies implemented by the CBN, which have influenced market dynamics and contributed to the currency strengthening. Authorized currency dealers quoted the dollar as high as 1,495 per dollar and as low as 1,447.50 per dollar. You're still listening to The Word Is on 103.5 FM. Now to some sport and entertainment stories. And in entertainment, Beyoncé won Best Album at the 67th Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. The star was recognized for her 8th album, Cowboy Carter, which celebrates the black roots of country music. She had previously been passed over for the ceremony's main prize on 4 separate occasions. The star's victory comes 25 years after her first Grammy nomination. Cowboy Carter is the second part of a trilogy of albums that interrogates American musical traditions and uncovers the often unheralded contributions made by black artists. Notably, it makes Beyoncé the first black woman to win the Album of the Year since 1999. And finally, in sport, Aston Villa signed Marcus Rashford on Sunday on loan from Manchester United for the rest of the season. Once a hero for United fans, Rashford has not featured for his boyhood club since December 12 and admitted earlier this season he was ready for a new challenge. He had been linked with a move to AC Milan and Barcelona, but European giants were put off by his reported $372,000 wage. According to newsmen, Villa will pick up at least 75% of that pay packet for the coming month. And before we go on the news today, here's a recap of the major stories. Top of the news on the national scene, we brought to report that the Edo Assembly has urged court to affirm 18 local government chairman suspension. And away from Nigeria, we brought to report that Trump has threatened to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. On the foreign scene, we reported that China has renewed threat to retaliate against United States tariffs. In business, we brought to report that Nigeria's exchange rate appreciated in January, gaining against the US dollar. In entertainment, we brought to report that Beyonce won Best Album at the 67th Grammy Awards. In sports, we reported that Aston Villa has signed Rashford on loan from Manchester United. For eyewitness report, news mentions and news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom at 081-767-55555 or 091-360-01035. You can also visit our website at honorfm1035.net for more information. The news was compiled and edited by Temi Tokwe Dada. Once and again, I am Anoluwapo Idowu. Good afternoon.